In the freezing skies of Alaska, something extraordinary happened, something the world had never witnessed before. A U.S. Air Force F-35 Lightning II, the most advanced fighter jet on the planet, was scrambled at full throttle. Not to intercept an enemy missile. Not to chase a spy plane. But to escort the personal aircraft of Russian President Vladimir Putin himself out of U.S. airspace. Was this a misunderstanding, a power move, or a secret message between two nuclear superpowers? Buckle up, because this isn't just a flight story. It's a high-stakes moment in modern military history that nearly sparked global shockwaves. It began quietly inside the North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD. Early morning radar operators detected a large, unidentified aircraft heading toward Alaska's air defense zone. At first, it looked like just another Russian reconnaissance plane, the kind that occasionally tests U.S. response times. But soon, transponder signals confirmed something shocking. The aircraft was transmitting a VIP diplomatic code, one reserved for Russian state flights. And when analysts zoomed in, the flight path suggested something unthinkable. It was President Putin's own aircraft, deviating near U.S. airspace after a polar route navigation error. Instantly, NORAD scrambled a pair of F-35 Lightning IIs from Eielson Air Force Base, Alaska. Their mission? Intercept. Identify. And if necessary, escort the Russian jet out of U.S. airspace. Within minutes, the base erupted into motion. Pilots sprinted to their aircraft. Engines roared. The sleek F-35s, cloaked in stealth and power, shot down the runway at supersonic speed, cutting through the frozen Alaskan sky. As the jets climbed through the clouds, the pilots locked onto radar signals from the unknown aircraft. They switched to radio channels used for international intercepts. Unidentified Rus. After a few minutes, the F-35s made visual contact. There it was, a massive Aviation Il-96, Russia's presidential aircraft, gleaming under the northern light. The U.S. pilots performed a standard visual identification maneuver, approaching from the left wing to signal peaceful intent. Through the cockpit glass, they could see Russian crew members looking back, visibly tense. Suddenly, a radio crackled. "This is Russian State Flight 101, we are correcting our course." Finally, confirmation. The U.S. pilots, following NORAD command, signaled a gentle escort formation, staying close as the Russian plane turned back toward international airspace. It wasn't a hostile chase. It was a silent, unspoken message of power and respect between two of the world's strongest militaries. So why did Putin's plane get so close to Alaska in the first place? Officially, Moscow never confirmed the incident. Unofficially, military insiders say it was a navigation miscalculation during a long-range flight over the Arctic Circle, possibly due to magnetic interference or GPS signal loss. But others believe it was a deliberate test to measure how fast and how far the U.S. would go to protect its northern frontier. After all, Alaska is America's first line of defense against Russia. And NORAD's response was lightning fast. From radar detection to full-speed takeoff, it took less than 7 minutes. That's the kind of readiness the world rarely sees, but one that keeps the balance of power stable in the skies. When the Russian plane crossed back into international airspace, the F-35s broke off formation and returned to base. No shots fired. No words exchanged beyond radio confirmation. But everyone involved knew this was a moment for the history books. Behind closed doors, the Pentagon praised the pilots for their calm professionalism. And in Moscow, advisors quietly adjusted flight protocols to avoid another near incursion. It was a rare glimpse into how close the world sometimes comes to tension and how professionalism prevents chaos. In a world armed with nuclear weapons, sometimes the most heroic act isn't pulling the trigger. It's staying calm when everything could explode. That day over Alaska, the F-35 pilot didn't just fly fast. He flew smart, proving that power doesn't always mean aggression. Sometimes, it means control. Because in modern warfare, the battle for peace often takes place not on the ground, but in the sky.